Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you are new to my channel, hi and welcome. Thank you so much for clicking on my video and giving it a watch. I'm so excited to get back into filming tutorials and reviews. Today I'm going to be reviewing King Art Supplies, and I have their watercolor sketchbook and their pearlescent watercolor palette. I brought the palette from TJ Maxx for about $5.99, and it seems like TJ Maxx has been carrying their brand for a while now in their stores. I've seen quite a few different products of theirs, but when I came across the watercolor palette and I saw how gorgeous the colors were, I knew I wanted to give it a try and show you guys if they were worth the buy. I actually bought the sketchbooks in a 2-pack for about $10, I believe, but I didn't get them at TJ Maxx, I got them at Ross. I have seen them at TJ Maxx, so you might want to give it a go and check it out if you guys are interested in finding them or in looking for them. I'm sure you can find them on Amazon as well. So I've also mentioned in a few other videos that Ross is a very discounted store where I found some really cool art products, such as the larger watercolor sketchbook that I used in my bunny watercolor and ink tutorial. And if you guys want to check that out, I'll link it right above here somewhere. And I really do love that this watercolor set has names for each of their colors, and I'll put the names on the screens as I go along and use them in the video so you guys know which ones to use if you'd like to paint along. But just look at the shine on those freaking colors. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I've never used watercolor paints like this before, but I wanted to challenge myself and see what I could create. I've been really into colors that are bold and sparkly recently, as you can probably tell by my nail polish. And please excuse the fact that my nail polish is chipping. I paint so much, I'm constantly washing my hands, and my nail polish never lasts. That's the only sad thing about getting my nails done. But anyways, I decided to draw something fairly simple, just a butterfly sitting on a flower. I found the reference image on Google, and I thought it'd be perfect to try out such gorgeous colors on butterfly wings. I'm sure everyone's seen a butterfly at some point in their life, and I'm honestly not scared of them. I just don't like when bugs or insects land on me in general, but I do admire how beautiful they are, and when I do see one close by, I try to get a photo of it. Once it starts fluttering my way though, I kind of gotta like get out of there, but I think they're really, really gorgeous. So the palette comes with 21 different colors as well as a paintbrush, which I'm not gonna use in this video just because it's a little too wide for what I need. I'm gonna need a thinner brush to paint in the detail on the wings. I'm starting off with this beautiful pink color that is surprisingly called red, which I think is a little misleading because it's definitely not a very dark red pigment that you would assume if you hear that color, but it's pretty nonetheless. And I'm gonna be taking some of this color right here, which is called Ruby, and this is a bit more fitting. And I'm starting off pretty light with a lot of water to dilute the color and see what that looks like once it dries, and then I'll add layers to it. It's easier to start off lighter and build up the color later. At least that's what works for me, and I had to find that out through trial and error. There's so many times that I went a little too dark and I couldn't paint on top of the color something else, and it just ruined the sketch for me, and I had to start all over. And I don't want you guys to have to go through that, but if there's one thing about art, it is that it is trial and error. You learn from experience. I just want to put in real quick, I do apologize if you hear my dog. He is a whiner and he sees that I'm painting and doing stuff, and he's right next to me. And the neighbors are also particularly loud today. I don't know why I said today, they're kind of loud every day, but yes, if you hear any of that in the background, I am sorry, but there's kind of no time in the day that I can record a voiceover because they always seem to be home, and there's heavy footsteps. If anyone here is a Friends fan, I really feel like Mr. Heckles, honestly. I truly don't know if it's that loud to them upstairs, but they do have several kids, and it's like all day. It kind of sounds like they're gonna come through my roof, my ceiling actually at some point, but I'm trying not to pay that mind. Anyways, back to the video. I don't know why, for some reason my phone didn't record this next part. I promise not a lot was missed, even though it kind of looks like it was. It really wasn't. I went in the center of the flower with the color Onyx, and that is the darkest color in the palette, but I made sure to use it sparingly because I knew I wanted to build a brighter color on top of that later. I also used the brown shade in the palette, which is called Stone, and I packed some of that color on top of what I had already painted with the Onyx. And for the butterfly wings, I used the color gold and orange, going in very light with mostly water to spread that color around, and I'm gonna build on that later. In the image that I found on Google, I think it's really funny that the butterfly looks so fluffy. I don't know if that's the right word to use for it, but it's so close up the image that the butterfly really does look like it's a very fuzzy little friend, and I just thought it was really cute, and I was trying to make it appear that way as well, which is why I went a little more raggedy with the paintbrush and not as harsh. I want you to see like the little hairs that it has. And I'm gonna go over the butterfly wings with some light spots later. It's easier for me to color it all in and then go back and paint over. I'm the kind of painter that does not like to try and do every small detail at once. My hands like to work fast. To be honest, I don't really have the patience to avoid coloring in something. I usually always mess it up anyways. So it may seem like extra work, but for me, it really isn't anything compared to staying sane while painting, because I can't go in really small details with a small, tiny brush, and it just doesn't work for me that way. But that's just me. If that works for you, then don't give yourself the extra step. And I'm going in with the color Onyx as well. I didn't use as much water. I really wanted that dark pigmentation. I wanted it to seem almost black because that was the color on the image that I found online that I'm using as my reference photo. So I really tried to keep it sort of similar, but maybe not too much because I am adding a lot more sparkle to this butterfly. And now I'm just going over the inside of the butterfly's wings with this beautiful orange color. I used orange, yellow, and gold, and brass as well, and I mixed the colors together a little bit here and there just to really see that shine, because I think it's gonna make the wings look so pretty in the end. This color palette, I will say, is very unique. Like I said before, I've never used a palette like this, and I'm just really happy with the way it's coming out. The colors just all seem to pop so much, and I can't wait to show this in direct sunlight. So once the onyx color is dry on the wings, I'm gonna go over that area on top with the light silver to create the spots and details on the wings that I was talking about. And because I did the color so dark and this color is so pigmented, I think it really works beautifully on top together. I think it just looks so freaking cool. I thought the silver would be a really cool change as opposed to just painting it white. And it adds another really delicate feature to the butterfly. I really like the way it makes the wings pop. Just look at that shine up close. Oh, I love it. It just seems so pretty and colorful. I think all of the colors are really beautiful. They're all very pigmented, which I was surprised. Honestly, I really thought that some of them would lack a little bit. Kind of like when you think of a makeup palette when you're testing it out, and some of them just don't have that rich color that it promises on the packaging. But this, I'm gonna give like a 10 out of 10. Honestly, I think it's really, really pretty. And for this next step, if you don't want to outline your painting with an ink pen, you do not have to. I personally really love combining the harsh lines of black ink over my watercolor paintings. I feel like it really finishes my pieces well and gives them an almost storybook illustration feel to them, which is something that I really love. But like I said, you do not have to do this part. If you've been following along and you want to keep your painting just as is, then please feel free to do so. I'm just going to be filling in this next little part right here, doing little detail here and there. I've mentioned before, and I even have a whole video on Winnie the Pooh illustrations that I was doing. I take most of my illustration from classic stories like that, E.H. Shepard and even Alice in Wonderland, the illustrator John Tenniel, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. Those are just classic books for me that I have always loved, and seeing those illustrations inspire my work. So that's why I really enjoy ink and color together, and even just black and white ink. And there you go. I really like the way this looks. This King Art palette is a 10 out of 10 for me. I can already imagine so many fun ways that I can use this in my future work. The sketchbook is great. There was zero warping, and the pages are thick and they feel like great quality. I'm gonna go ahead and call this a success. You guys should definitely grab this palette. Check out your local TJ Maxx or arts and crafts store like Michael's. I'll try to link it down in the description if I find it online. And thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please click that like button and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this. Thank you again, and I'll see you guys next time.